My name is Maria Bustelo from the Complutense University at Madrid. I feel really honored to chair this session, the end of the research network on gender politics and the state, RINGS, What's Next? The RINGS project started in 1995, and it has produced crucial pieces for the study of gender and politics, and more concretely for the conceptualization of state feminism, the study of different issues and debates, and the interface between women's movement and women's agencies. Now the RINGS has come to its end. And here we are presenting its new capstone book. As you see, it's the politics of state feminism, innovation in comparative research, published by Temple University Press and edited by Dorothy McBride and Amy Mazur, and with the contributions by Johnny Lewandowski, Joyce Outshoorn, Birgit Sauer, and Marilla Guadagnini.
We're delighted to be here, this opportunity presented here to reflect on RINGS and to invite all of you to participate in the discussion of what's next. We wanted to take first, though, a look back at RINGS. The RINGS process involves the network. 43 scholars, 13 country directors, 5 issue networks, 5 conveners. Research design, conceptualization, data collection and findings, all collaboration, and fun. Issues, what issues to study? Not 1, but 5. Abortion, job training, prostitution, political representation, and the hot issue. Scope, not the world, post-industrial democracies. And not just the 1990s when we started, but the 1960s, the 1970s, the 1980s, the 1990s, and the early 2000s. The RINGS definition of state feminism is an essential tool for the framework and for the the theory of state feminism, and it is that it is successful alliances of women's policy agencies and women's movement actors to achieve favorable state responses. Is another RINGS possible? These are some summation of our questions, and there may be others that you want to consider in the what's next category.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, okay, thank you so much.
Johanna Kantola from the University of Helsinki. Just kind of a, I guess, intersectionality problematizes feminism in state feminism. So I was wondering, in the context of Mike's presentation yesterday, or the keynote, we had this long debate about neoliberalism and how it changes the state. So kind of challenging the state in state feminism when these women's policy agencies turn to the market instead of the state. And also not just kind of in this sense, but also we have kind of international organizations that have women's policy agencies, like the European Union, for example. So can we then talk about state feminism? I'm just kind of raising it up as another potential what's next type of question relating to the notion of the state in state feminism.
I think there are a lot of challenges to state feminism, and of course that not the concept of intersectionality, I would say, but diversity politics might challenge state feminism, as you said. But on the other hand, it might be a challenge for research to look with the eye of intersectionality. So what does it mean, for instance, for agency, for diversity agencies in bringing in different civil society organizations' idea into the policy process? So I would say it's still a dual track. And I don't think that the state in state feminism is really challenged. Maybe the nation state is challenged.
Well, to continue about the Europeanization effect, I think there's a huge field still to be researched about the effects of, for instance, Europeanization which you first would have to define in a well-operationalized way, and to see how that is impacting national state level and what it means for changing opportunity structures for women's movements there, and also the role of women's policy agencies in mediating European regulation at the national level. We know bits of that, and we've done some of that, and in the book that you and I edited, we had that as an explicit question, but it's still under-researched, and I think that's one of the points which needs further development, and that could be a challenge for the future.
We actually mapped out all the agencies in the project over time. So there's there's an analysis of 75 agencies in the 17 countries over time, just the structural characteristics. Yeah. But then we also mapped out the success, the relative success of women's policy agencies, and there's just a single graph of that, and that's in chapter 4. So that's in the book.
If you care about the topic, you can probably get people to show up. Like everybody comes to this because everybody cares so much about this subject. So don't give up on the possibility.
So I think we need to thank you so much. Yeah.